Take me home.
Greetings, Wayward fans. Thank you all for watching. My name is Kripke, and I will be your guide as we dive into another episode analysis video. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is the very first episode called The Pilot. We meet Sam and Dean for the very first time as they return to the family business, hunting the supernatural that do harm, and saving people. They journey to Jericho, California, to investigate their first case in a very long time. Have you heard of the Woman in White before? Back in April of 1981, 24-year-old Constance Welch became a woman in white in a tragic chain of events that first began with an unfaithful husband. Since then, she has been lurking the lonely roads to prey upon men who have been unfaithful and then murders them. Let's get started. Women in white are created when a mother, deceived or rejected by the father of her children, kills her offspring as revenge. Overcome with remorse, the woman commits suicide, and her spirit is reborn as the woman in white, doomed to roam the earth, forever searching for her lost children. Women in white haunt roads and rivers, using them as landmarks as they travel. They prey on men who have hurt women, and while they initially appear beautiful, they reveal their true form when attacking. Lipless, gray-skinned corpses they are. Women in white have the same strengths and weaknesses as other ghosts, and they can be dispatched the same way. In 1981, 24-year-old Constance Welch drowned after she jumped off the Sylvania Bridge near the Continental Highway in Jericho, California. An hour previously, she had called 911 and reported that her 2 children drowned in a bath after she briefly left them. In reality, she went insane and drowned her children after finding out her husband Joseph had been unfaithful. Since her death, she haunted the highway, appearing as a hitchhiker to young men. Constance would beg to be taken home, but once they arrived to an old abandoned house, she protested that she could never go home. She would then kill the young men after she tempted them into being unfaithful. 10 men died on the same 5-mile stretch of highway before the Winchesters came to town.
Constance Welch, 24 years old, jumps off Sylvania Bridge, drowns in the river. An hour before they found her, she calls 911. Her 2 little kids are in the bathtub. She leaves them alone for a minute, and when she comes back, they aren't breathing. Both die.
Hunters labeled the woman in white as similar to a vengeful spirit. She developed many abilities over time and became very strong. Let's go over what women in white can do. Telekinesis. They are able to move virtually anything with their minds if they have enough concentration on the objects. With practice, they can become stronger and manipulate many objects at once. Electrokinesis. She was able to cause electronics to malfunction, notably causing car radios to turn static. Her voice can also be heard as an EVP when John Winchester left Dean a message on his phone.
I can never go home.
Shapeshifting. When ghosts show themselves, they look exactly like they did the moment they passed. Some can shapeshift to look different. For the woman in white, she was able to change her form to a beautiful woman to attract men, rather than seeing her decaying corpse. Intangibility. Without a body, spirits are naturally intangible and able to move through solid matter without hindrance. However, it requires them to get angry, or alternatively very calm, to become corporeal. This allows them to phase their hands through people and cause internal injuries. In case you are unfortunate to run into this spirit, this is how the Winchesters put her to rest.
Take me home.
No.
They arrive at her old abandoned home, with Sam sealed in the car, and she tries to get vengeance.
You can't kill me. I'm not unfaithful.
You will be.
Dean comes to the rescue. The distraction gives Sam enough time to drive the car straight into the house, taking Constance's spirit with him.
I'm taking you home.
She picks up an old photo of her two children and is distracted for a few moments. And then her vengeance takes over. The ghosts of her two children appeared to embrace their mother and drag her spirit to the afterlife.
I'll tell you another thing. If you screwed up my car, I'll kill you.
This is the analysis and reveal, where I put the episode under a microscope for your entertainment and knowledge. Number 1. Despite the name of the episode being Pilot, because the plot is based on the Mexican folktale ghost story of La Llorona, it could have been called Woman in White, or The White Lady. Number 2. During the flashback scene at the start of the episode where Mary is killed, the fire engines were shown to be red, but back in the 1980s, the fire engines in Lawrence, Kansas were actually lime green, not red. Number 3. There were actually many versions of the pilot script for Supernatural that Eric Kripke had. In one version, the episode ended with the Winchester boys finding their dad dead on the ceiling instead of their mother. In another version, Sam suspected Dean of being an actual serial killer and of murdering their father. Also, in an early draft of the pilot, the Winchester name was actually Harrison, and John's name was Jack. Can you imagine Jack Harrison? Number 4. Jensen Ackles originally read the part for Sam Winchester. That would have been really odd, seeing Sam play as Dean and Dean play as Sam. Number 5. The Winchester's father leaves Dean a note with the coordinates 35 and 111. Presumably meaning 35 degrees north latitude and 111 degrees west longitude. When Sam looks it up on the map, it's showing the places in Colorado. This is strange, since if you actually look up these coordinates, it brings you to Winslow, Arizona, very close to Meteor Crater. Number 6. While Sam is looking through the newspaper clippings in their father's abandoned hotel room, the name Deanna Kripke can be seen, which is referring to the show's creator Eric Kripke's actual wife's name. The name David Nutter is also seen, which is the episode's director. Number 7. This is an iconic moment in Supernatural. The scene where Sam and Dean are doing research in the library was the very first scene of the show to be filmed.
Let me try.
Got it. Dude.
Such a control freak.
Number 8. The town of Jericho, California, where the woman in white is often found, is entirely fictional for the show. Number 9.
Is this about your dad? Is he all right? Your brother said he was on some kind of hunting trip.
Oh, yeah, he's just deer hunting up at the cabin. He's probably got Jim, Jack, and Jose along with him.
This is a reference to the 3 bottles of booze: Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Jose Corvero. This gave the impression that John Winchester was a drunk, but thankfully after this episode, this idea was removed. Number 10. Mary Winchester dies on November 2nd, 1983. November 2nd also happens to be All Souls Day, or also called Day of the Dead in Mexico. Number 11. It was assumed by Sam, Dean, and the fans that Azazel was the one who killed Jessica. However, it was revealed in Season 5, Episode 20, The Devil You Know, that Sam's demon-possessed friend Brady did the actual killing. I'll bet on Azazel's instructions, of course.
So I hooked you up with a pure, sweet, innocent piece of tail. And then I toasted her on the ceiling. Azazel might have put the hit out on Jessica, but man, I got to have all the fun.
And now on to cultural references. Number 1.
Dean, this is my girlfriend, Jessica.
Wait, your brother, Dean?
I love the Smurfs. You know, I gotta tell you, you are completely out of my brother's league.
The Smurfs was a cartoon series about little blue creatures living in mushroom houses in the woods. Early on in the show, Smurfette was the only female in their village, originally created by Gargamel in an evil plan to capture them all. Number 2.
I like your necklace.
With all that devil stuff.
Actually, it means just the opposite. A pentagram is protection against evil. Really powerful.
Okay, thank you, Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries was a TV show that featured reenactments of unsolved crimes filmed in documentary style, with actors portraying the victims, perpetrators, and witnesses. Many of these stories hinted at paranormal phenomenon back in 1987. Number 3.
I'm not sure you realize just how much trouble you're in here.
You talking like misdemeanor kind of trouble or squeal like a pig trouble?
The Squeal Like a Pig is a reference to a scene in the 1972 horror film Deliverance. Number 4.
How does it feel to be the golden boy of your family?
They don't know.
Why not?
Because we're not exactly the Bradys.
I'm not exactly the Huxtables. More shots.
No.
Sam is referring to the family in the TV show The Brady Bunch, which debuted September 26, 1969. The Huxtables is from The Cosby Show, which is the African-American 80s version of The Brady Bunch. Number 5.
So you want to give us your real name?
I told you, it's Nugent. Ted Nugent.
While being interrogated by the police, Dean gives his name as Ted Nugent, which is a hard rock guitarist, making it the first hard rock music-related alias used on the show, one of many to come. Number 6.
Can I help you boys?
No, sir. We were just leaving. Agent Mulder? Agent Scully?
This was a reference to the popular 1990s show The X-Files, where Fox Mulder and Dana Scully investigate unsolved cases involving paranormal phenomena. Number 7. Constance House was the very same house used in the Rob Zombie's movie The Devil's Rejects, where the psychopaths live. Number 8.
Nice work, Sammy.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same for you. What were you thinking, shooting Casper in the face, you freak?
Hey.
This is a reference to the famous cartoon character Casper, the Friendly Ghost. He first appeared in a children's book back in 1939, and then became an animated cartoon in 1945. And for those of you wondering, Casper became a ghost after he died from pneumonia from playing out in the cold too long, till nightfall. And now on to Have I Seen You Before? Or Deja Vu. Number 1. Sarah Shahan is one of 4 stars from the CBS drama Person of Interest to appear in Supernatural over the years.
Do you think I'm pretty?
On to continuity errors. Now for some fun. I'm going to show you a very short clip from the episode, and let's see if you can find the error. Pause the video if you need more time. Number 1.
Check it out.
As the Winchesters drive up to the bridge for the very first time, in the interior car shot of Dean, you can see that the back window is part of the way down, but in the next shot as they park, the window is all the way down, just like the driver's side window. Number 2.
Check it out.
As Sam and Dean are driving to the bridge, if you look in the background of the window, it's a flat terrain, but in the next shot when they're parking, a hill with trees is beside the road. Number 3.
House rules, Sammy. Driver picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole.
You know Sammy is a chubby 12-year-old. It's Sam, okay?
Sorry, I can't hear you. The music's too loud.
When Sam is criticizing Dean's cassette tape collection, he pulls out a Metallica cassette, in which Dean grabs and puts it into his cassette deck. But the music that plays is not Metallica, but Back in Black by AC/DC. Number 4. The sign on the door handle of the motel room gets stuck on the door frame as Dean leaves, but is straight a moment later as the cop is walking to the door. Number 5. When Mary is pinned to the ceiling, her blood drips right next to Sam in the crib. But when John sees her body and falls down screaming, he looks in a completely different direction that would make it impossible for Mary's blood to drip in Sam's crib. Number 6.
Problem, officers?
Where's your partner?
Partner? What? What partner?
In the scene where Dean gets arrested, his coat collar jumps up and down between the front and back angle shots. Now let's tally up the total kills done by this stalker in white. It was learned that between 1985 and 2004, she killed a total of 8 unloyal men. In 2005, she killed an unknown man in April, and then in early October, Andrew Curry went missing along the same stretch of road. The latest and final victim would be Troy Squire. This brings the total kills to 11. This is one dangerous, old, hideous hag. I mean, beautiful woman. Oh, never mind. If you would like to learn more about the real woman in white, her origins and myths, please check out the links in the description below. If anyone has an interest in real paranormal investigating, or simply have a story, video, or photo you'd like to share, reach out to Thomas D'Agostino, public speaker, author of 12 books, and over 38 years of paranormal investigating. He is always looking for new stories and experiences to share. You can find his contact info in the description below. Please remember to like and subscribe to become a member of Kripke's Supernatural Hunters. And don't forget to click the bell so you'll be notified of any new videos. I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to leave me a comment or any questions you may have below. Thank you so much for watching, Wayward fans, and as always, carry on the hunt.